Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Luana English Podcast. I'm your host, Luana, and I am so excited for today's episode. We're talking about something that literally everyone dreams about.
Hello, Luana. Hello to our listeners. If you're talking about dreams, it's either free pizza for life or a shorter work week. Which one is it?
Definitely the work week, Josimar. Today, we are looking at the 4-day work week. We've seen global trials making headlines recently, and honestly, the results are pretty surprising.
It's a fascinating topic. Is it actually possible to do 5 days of work in 4? Or are we just going to be more stressed? Let's find out.
So, Josimar, I was reading this report about a massive trial in the UK. They had dozens of companies try out a 4-day week for 6 months. And get this, most of them decided to keep it permanently.
I saw that too. It's called the 180-100 model, right? 100% of the pay for 80% of the time in exchange for 100% productivity.
Exactly. But I have to ask you, you're a very organized person. Do you think you could actually get everything done? Don't you think you'd be swamped with work?
That's the big question. Initially, I thought it would be a nightmare, but the studies suggest that when people know they have a 3-day weekend coming up, they stop wasting time. They have fewer long meetings and fewer water cooler chats. They just get down to business.
That makes sense. I notice that when I have a deadline on a Friday afternoon, I work much faster. But what about the burnout factor? Some critics say that squeezing 40 hours into 4 days is just too intense.
Well, the idea isn't necessarily to work 10 hours a day. It's about working smarter. People reported feeling less burnt out because they had that extra day to recover, do chores, or just sleep in.
I'd love an extra day for my hobbies, but what about industries like healthcare or retail? You can't just close a hospital on a Friday because the staff is on a 4-day schedule.
True. It's definitely easier for office jobs or tech companies. For service industries, it requires a lot of trial and error with scheduling. You'd need more staff to cover the shifts, which could be expensive for the business.
So it's a bit of a double-edged sword. Great for the employee's mental health, but potentially a headache for management. Okay, let's dive a bit deeper into the language we're using. Josimar, can you explain the phrase burnt out for our B1, B2 learners?
Of course. To feel burnt out means to be completely exhausted physically and mentally because you've been working too hard for too long. It's more than just being tired. It's when you feel like you have nothing left to give.
Great explanation. And I use the term double-edged sword. That's a common idiom. It means something has both favorable and unfavorable consequences, like the 4-day week. More rest, favorable, but more pressure to perform, unfavorable.
I also want to mention the grammar of results. We often say the results suggest that or the results indicate that, instead of just saying the results show. It sounds a bit more professional and analytical when discussing studies.
Right, and we should also look at the cultural nuance of work-life balance. In many cultures, staying late at the office is seen as a sign of loyalty, but this new movement is shifting the focus from quantity, how many hours you sit at a desk, to quality, what you actually achieve.
Before we go, let's recap 5 key words or expressions from today's chat. 1. Swamped, adjective, very busy, having too much to do. Example, I'd love to go to the cinema, but I'm absolutely swamped with reports right now. 2. To get down to business. Idiom, to stop talking and start doing the important work. Example, enough small talk, let's get down to business and look at the budget. 3. Trial and error. Noun phrase, a way of achieving a goal by trying different possibilities until you find the best one. Example, I didn't have a recipe, I just made the cake through trial and error. 4. Permanent, adjective, lasting or intended to last or remain unchanged indefinitely. Example, after the successful internship, the company offered her a permanent position. 5. Headline, noun, the heading or caption of a newspaper or news story. Example, the news about the 4-day week made headlines all over the world. This was a great conversation, Luana. It really makes you think about how we value our time.
It really does. And for our listeners, we have a challenge. Try to use one of our 5 vocabulary words today in a sentence. Maybe tell a colleague you're swamped, even if you aren't.
Good point. Thanks for tuning in to the Luana English Podcast. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review.
See you next time.
Bye.